What's that? No, I haven't. There we go. Why is my phone going off? That's why. So, yeah. Today we are playing the Stanley Parable. Please enter the current time. Is it AM or PM? PM. Oh. Blah 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 blah. Current. Anyways, copy link. Go here. Go here. Go here. Go to Discord. Begin the game. Go here. Go here. Paste. Add everyone.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Al?
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
I bet he doesn't like his job at all.
And Stanley was happy.
I'm going bull.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So... As phone... Oh. What does that say? I hate Monday.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wear it. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
I was messing around with the controls.
Waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
The end is never the end. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, that's hilarious. I should have turned on my phone. To 0 volume. Go back to YouTube. Okay. This time I'm not gonna mess around with controls. since I pretty much figured out most of the things I'm supposed to be doing. There.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I hear some... oh shit. Number 1 dad. Wow. Ah, my eyes! Fuck.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yeah, that cop did say I hate Mondays. I hate weekdays in general. That is a very outdated cup. It says, "Be my Valentine." I know it's still February, but god damn. Why is... It's the funniest cup yet. Anyways, back. Time to walk. Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wasn't the door on the right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I thought that said fuck. Coffee nut.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh, it's this room. Alright. Wow. Dick.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I'm sorry, curiosity killed the cat. Don't you agree? Don't you? Ugh. I'm trying to make more videos, but I keep getting distracted.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please,
myself?
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her? I'm gonna continue not following orders. Let's fuck you, narrator. English.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Sup?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
Open the door.
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Why can't I leave this room?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yes.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You
How did I do that?
chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
What?
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you've made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, it can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Practice. No, I shall not practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Yeah.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly.
Wait, that was an option?
That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get
Give
you
me an
home as
idea,
soon as
doesn't make
possible
sense.
before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Yeah. Wow, I'm just heading back to the beginning.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I want to work. Yeah. Oh, entered the door on his left.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Fine.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage.
Do not alter without...
It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way.
Tomorrow
is
is
it better
now.
to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
I'm pretty sure I'm still alive, man.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Trophy already can't jump. No, seriously. No, seriously. Get your first trophy. Awarded for getting any of the other trophies as your first. Oh, shit. I did not mean to click that. Nah. Damn it. Might know what I'm going to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is a character. This is a person pressing the space bar. The space bar.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
What's up?
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical
I'm
sense.
just walking in a giant
And
circle.
as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled.
Oh,
this
wow.
is all a dream. What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah, Stanley.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who
yeah.
found it particularly strange. I'm
This is
dreaming
hilarious.
about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
I'm going
Now,
to
hearing the voice
have
speak
to
these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After
Ray
all,
catch up to where I
he
was
knew for
earlier.
certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Yeah, that's
All
Stanley,
I want is
not
my
me.
life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am.
That's Stanley.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Yeah. Dang.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had
Stanley.
stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
I'm pretty
It
sure
was
that's the one.
comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and
Wow.
by extension, the rest
That's
of her
her
life.
life.
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned in her hand.
In a hurry to get to her job interview. I need to fucking redo that thing that I was doing earlier because I accidentally clicked restart. The end is never. The end is never, never.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Yeah, I
and
know.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Walk on past the first open door on my left.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I mean, I could just...
Look, Stanley, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley left from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I didn't get to do that the last time. That's not what I wanted to. I needed to finish that thing. Oh my god. My eyes. That's hilarious. Oh, fuck. I'm not gonna finish that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
It's because I'm insane.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
Oh, there's a cup down there.
What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper.
Number 1 down.
Something darker.
I hate Mondays and Boy Be My Valentine. What's this shirt? What's this one say again? Fuel. That's a box.
Yes. Really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What's in there?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Hey, what's in there?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I'll deal with that in a minute.
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Again, who the f is her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
No, I have a better choice.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do that. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
Yes.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Oh, that's
No,
Bob.
it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken
While
to
it
his
says this,
apartment
I'll
where he
be
finds
back.
his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, it can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
The fuck does that even mean? I may not understand this. You know, I don't know.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
No.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted by closing that door. I already did that thing earlier.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Obviously.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
How about no?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No!
Oh.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, fuck, it's an narrator. Well.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to. I'm still here in this pile of rubbish, with you, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Just watch him not unlock the right door.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, you're giving me that.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly.
If you mess
and
up,
always
you
putting
just
the
kind of
story
fuck
first.
around.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Trevor says no.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine, I'll enter the door on my left. Ow.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips are not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day with no expectation. So, dispute with the... Yep. And I was trying to. Everyone is sneaky. You most of all. Nah. Yeah, everyone is me. To do. Synergize core value expendable shift. Slides. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market. Hurrah. Oh, monetize free to play. Topics of boss appreciation. On your boss appreciation man worksheet, sort of the top 20 things you love about your boss. Bill, I guess I won't be reading anything else. We're in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Oh yeah,
upstairs to his
I didn't walk
boss's
up to the
office.
upstairs to the boss's office. But, oh, it's back here. Huh.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
What was the code? Shark Knight 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115 is what's supposed to be said. I know it's
I'm
expensive.
sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I can't speak into the thing. Well, it's not like me.
Okay, fine. You're not gonna do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there.
No.
Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door
on his left.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
No, he can't.
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
Damn.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. We're both correct. You can't be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me?
No, he doesn't.
You listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
Stanley doesn't hear this. Please, Stanley's not here right now. Please come back later.
Time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Ah. Damn. That's only like ending 1 out of something. This didn't happen last time. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I can never read those stupid slides.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah. I'm walking to the boss's office again. Ooh. Anyways.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Hello, no, I haven't. 2, 4, 8, 5. That's what I said, right? Excuse me, hey, narrator, repeat the
Stanley
code.
just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Oh, I put in the code back wrong. 2845, not 24855.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah, darkness.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I've only gone the first, the ending where, well, the slight end, I don't know. What'd you call it? An ending? Fine, I got the credits earlier, whenever I went to the... I disobeyed the narrator, and that for like pretty much the entire time. And then finally listened to him, and got credits there.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of
I really haven't seen much about the Stanley Parable, so...
When for years, it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
Huh? Oh. Strange.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Mind
that read
control.
Mind Control Facility.
Yeah. Yes, this is the Ultra Deluxe. Hey, where do you think I should go? Well, yeah, escape. Let's do
Although
it.
this passageway had the word
Or
escape
right
written
on
in
it.
it, the truth was that at the end of
in
this
the
hall,
hallway.
Stanley would meet his violent death.
Wow, that sounds unique.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Why would I do that?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah. Fall to my death. Wow. If it restarts, I'm going to laugh. Oh, okay. Whee! Ah, my fucking knees!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yeah. But there's a box. Arrows.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Yeah.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the
Stanley's
same.
Computer.
Do you see now?
Office
Do you
layout.
see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wow. The two doors. Yeah. Because I always choose to go right. Corridor. Office computers. Oh. Employee database, someone's playing solitaire, and then that's just an update. No one cares about those. What's this? Violent sounds. The office. The office plant and box. Maintenance room. Cool. 431, 436. Oh, hey, look. There's a printer. Up. Wars up. To end up. Oh, cool. This, yeah, war, apparently. Ultra Deluxe announcements. So, Ultra Deluxe. 2018. I got this, like, last month. Emails. Subject gay. Are you gay? Can I answer that? I mean, I could, but... Huh? Dear narrator. Cool. Up. The lounge. Like... Apartment timer. The previous version... 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different... I'm like... I have no idea where I am. I have not picked up the phone yet. So one option, two options, three. One and three are one option. Two is two options, and four is ventilation. Yeah. Meeting room. Where's my phone going? Zending levers. They put part of zending. Cool. I can't interact with them at all. What's this? Sending. Cool. Where am I supposed to be going? Monorail elevator? 427. 42. Stanley's office. From left to right, that was from Stanley's office. From 2011 to 2013. There's a box in that one. I can barely see the difference for this. It's just here. Yeah. What? This place is a giant maze. I hate mazes. They're not amazing. Oh, hey, I've been better here. Okay. By the way, if you want to read any of what this stuff says, just let me know. Escape menu. Which was frustrating for everyone. I know, right? Hey, I have a bit over here. Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another.
What?
How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Like.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and...
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I'm just gonna turn that back up.
Be your only true choice.
I'm streaming, so how about...
Choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Wow. The ending is loading. The end is loading. God, I hate English. I'm gonna stare at this clock for a minute. Oh, I've been done staring at the clock.
When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ooh, actually I haven't been in here.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I saw a big red button. I had to press it. The button was telling me
but
to
Stanley
press it.
didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
I have not... What? Message redacted? Why? Message retracted. Nice. Sorry. I can't read half the time. Sure.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly...
This narrator sounds so much like me. What the fuck am I supposed to be doing?
Let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice the giant garage door activating.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Wander far off track is all I hear. Right, you heard that too, right?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't feel like doing that right now. That's fine.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Back door, any door. Huh. You know what? I know. I'll take the right door. Yeah. I totally know what I'm doing.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
How the fuck did I get back here?
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse.
Hey, where'd all the doors go?
This wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Hey, what's that door? I don't recall seeing that door before. Oh, yeah, I know. No more right door. It's a shame. Hey. Why is that door open? That door wasn't open. Why is that door open?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
No.
I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you remember, Stanley?
I do.
But you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
I wonder when I'll get this ending. I've only been recording for an hour, it's fine.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Hold on. This isn't the correct way. This is the... But this is actually the wrong way. Okay.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
I can't walk on the wall, narrator.
Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Go back and look at that fern.
Yeah, I know. Oh, what fern?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
White box, about this long, that tall, black rim. Okay, yeah. I got this. Here, let me just click. Okay,
Wait, we're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you.
Yeah, it's
everything we've been through. Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Huh? Okay, follow the line. The line...
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in... Well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be,
Crystal
Stanley,
Cave.
I'm ready for it.
Does a crystal cave sound nice, narrator? No.
Oh, no, not you again.
God damn it.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And we should be fine.
I would like a strange line. Anyways, I would like a crystal cavern.
Ah, a choice.
With a
we get to
geode.
make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the white door lead us to where we're going?
Yes.
Since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Yes, the right door.
Hold up, what's this?
The
The confusion ending.
17 minutes.
That's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times?
You third start 4,
That's
5,
really how all
6,
this goes? It's all
7.
determined? So now, according
8.
to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No,
A fucking bookstore.
I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep
Yeah, so
restarting. I don't want to
Yes,
forget
the
what's
previous-
going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I
You
won't do
spin
it.
me right.
And
Anyway.
the timer clock stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? Whatever it is that made this schedule. How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
Don't mind me.
Won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Ow, my ear. That hurt for a split second. Fuck. What the hell? I don't know when I'll stop. Everything seems the same.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Everything
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
seems
memo.
the same. Seems. Something's already off.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
I want to say
admire
hi
it.
to the employee. Why's that? Come on, break in.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before.
Thanks.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, sure, I'll get back on track.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I could walk to my boss's office. Or I could go back to the, world's shittiest parking lot where Stanley had a fucking heart attack. Is it further? Can I go any further down?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered
Fucking
the
nerd.
possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something
Never
occurred
again.
to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
I'm not trying to break into this corridor you were talking about.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No,
yes,
Stanley
they
said to
are.
himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't
I'll be right back. You guys see a car.
I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
It's still going
Now,
on.
hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
No, there we go. I'm not
I
back.
wish it to be over. Let me go back to my...
I finally got that. I've already gone that end, that thing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Printer. Yep. It's all I'm supposed to
Stanley
be
went
doing.
around touching. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I like the outside. That was actually not intentional. I can't look.
At
My
first,
eyes.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its
Fucking
examination
eyes,
of
man.
structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here,
One more
what do you
ending, and then I'm gonna
Isn't this a
stop
fun and
playing this
unique
for
place to
today.
be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
How long have it? Okay, I've been recording for an hour and 19
What do you think?
minutes.
Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Then in that case, we'll continue. Now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Would it be
so
worth it for
bright
you to
down here.
restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps
I've already
you just
spent an
played the
hour
other
and like
option, and now
20
you've come to
minutes.
see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say
Narrator,
that no
please,
one who's
shut
listening
the
to
fuck
this
up.
is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I have a better idea, narrator. How about I spend another, like, I don't know, a couple minutes doing this because I have nothing better to do. Anyways.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
I just have to look away from my screen.
For
It's
its
bright.
insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
I am now,
Well,
yes.
I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm
I hear you.
enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Narrator, I will turn you
There
down.
was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
I feel like that's a lie, but I
The
don't know.
truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some
What do I
kind
do
of
this for?
glutton.
Content. Why?
Did it all day.
Because I enjoy making content.
But his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
That's just stupid. Who always even still here watch me just sit in agony? I'd like to know. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna be here for a while. So, okay then. Oh, what time is it? It's 4:36. I've been recording for an hour and 24 minutes. I have nothing better to do. Should I restart it, or should I just wait another like minute? I guess I have nothing but time currently. Oh. Oh. Now I have no reason to be in here because the music's gone. Just pops like a balloon. There's something I want to
can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Wow. Every time I restart, there's a different line. I find that hilarious. Where is it? Which cup is that? Oh, the I Hate Mondays. I have to agree with that. Well, along with every.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There's 2 things I need to look at because I haven't looked at yet. There's one entering the phone on the right side, and then the extra door. I haven't answered yet.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for misuse of cargo, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Oh no, I mean,
I think perhaps we've got
Stanley
go on the wrong foot here. I'm not your
dead.
Really, I'm not.
A $5,000.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I'll go through the red door.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
But, damn, I want to go through the red door, but the correct answer is also the red door. Yeah, I can.
Perhaps you misunderstood.
Fine.
Stanley walked. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The 2 of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
I will continue walking. Ah, fine. Flop. Lay your fat ass down.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Yeah, I can only piss you off.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Okay.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Nah.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I will do this.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
But
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
This is a hard choice. I can do that later. I have plenty of time. If I survive this next fall, I will walk there. I will go through the star room.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I said I would.
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
I get the other ending later. It's either I get this ending now or I get the other ending now.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Oh yeah, see ya. There's still another ending I need to get, anyways. Which I'm probably gonna get before I stop streaming, recording. Potato. Slowly walk up these stairs. Yeah.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm going back.
Yes, you are going back. I'm dead on the ground. I feel like such a dick now.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time. Oh, new content? What does that mean?
Sweet.
New content.
I'm sorry, I read something that said new content. I had to from my original objective. Primary objective was answering.
And thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, It was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Yeah, I'm playing it on console.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I am too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, there's totally not new content here. God, can I have some elevator music at least?
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I want to see it just as much as...
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump. Yeah. What happens if I hit 0? Aww.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this?
Does it actually say it? Hold on.
Infuriated and I'm offended.
Oh my god.
I tend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me.
If that door opens,
time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sure. I'm going to make a wrong choice and then do a correct choice. I haven't.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Interesting. You want to show me something? What does he want to show me? I am now curious. Quote on. Yeah. Huh? Give me my earbud. There it is. I hate not being...
You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
That's beautiful.
Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Stanley Parable,
you see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory
Audience
Zone
Award,
remind you of how
where the fuck that
wonderful
is?
Stanley Parable was
Good
before
time.
it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October
Excuse
of
me.
2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
And then there's the keyboard in front of a box TV. One of those loud ones with the ringing. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Achievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. The video game releasing today, blah blah blah. Los Angeles Times. Cool. Tap 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 tap.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear
what's
that,
this?
Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Are you saying something?
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing.
Wow, he's actually
no
mentioned
games
two
at
things.
all.
Well, one of them
It
I've
isn't
played,
even
one of
the
them I've
Stanley
heard of.
Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Yeah. See? Original. Once I
Here's
get
another
the
moving passage,
Carpet
this
texture.
time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
How do I get back there? I like work. I just hate my boss. Wow. That's a unique mug.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
This reminds me of...
No, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
I find it entertaining.
Funny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Luckily, there's one of the good things about the Stanley Parable. It's basically for all ages. No profanity. Except man. I'm kidding. What the fuck?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy?
Recommended.
Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness.
Yep.
This
What?
is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be
Fragile.
honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps
You don't let
Parable
these
isn't quite
like
as
3 people
sterling as
down
I've
that are
always
watching my
remembered.
video.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
But I don't want to press the skip button. Fine then, I'll press the skip
And
button.
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue. And it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction...
I have
therefore becomes
patience, I
impossible to
have...
manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there,
yeah.
and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't
I should
be.
probably
It's
just,
the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices. And that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. Right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
So how's all your days been so far?
Treatise, manifesto.
Or nights or whatever time it is for you.
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works.
I mean, I don't know this.
Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button.
Yeah.
Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, where did my door go?
Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I don't feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
There was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back. Stanley! Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Oh.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times.
Okay.
And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you think that that's just how it's always... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of...
I don't like the skip on. I despise this button. Ah, my ears. Skip. Skip.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands.
Huh. Strange. Can I go back to showing the narrator, please? Button. Button. Where's the narrator?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I think I broke the narrator. He's going insane. I can't get out of this room. The door was locked when I tried to leave. This isn't my fault. Narrator? Open a hole in the wall. Yeah, look, the sun. I don't know how long he's... been sitting there. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at all the grass and stuff. It's so beautiful. Ah, yeah, it's all gone. Wait. It's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Yeah. How long have I been streaming for? Here, let me check. Almost 2 hours. So wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What does that say? Oh. Yeah, I like work one. So why is that door open?
When Stanley came to assess
I'm gonna get one more thing.
This was not
do one more thing and then end the recording.
and Stanley
the
knew
stream.
it perfectly
So,
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I gotta get somewhere now.
And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
Look at all the
I'm
boxy
not your
door.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
You know, I actually answered the phone.
That's her, Stanley.
My eyes. Ah! Where's my Oculus? There it is. Fuck.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm
What?
just pulling the bread out of the oven. Alright.
Pop, 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 pop,
Okay,
pop.
there we go. Alright now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. That he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Fine.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Yeah.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Huh? Oh.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Huh? Oh, I'm supposed to be pressing a button. Hold on. Alright, there, I'm back. Click.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So, he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls.
On the opposite
down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby.
What?
And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets.
I did not want to press that button, but I had to.
Real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
That's boring.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh. Hold on. And this, where is this gonna send me? Okay, well then.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Oh, well. I ended here. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed. If you liked my content, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment. Do whatever you want. Anyways, I'll see you next time.